Aries, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for October 3rd through the 9th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Aries, this week we have a lot going on. Actually, perhaps the most important thing is that we do have Saturn squaring up to the North Node. So this is a very important one. Two very slow-moving planets, which does emphasize a collective importance here. So let's look at where Saturn is. Saturn's been this year transitioning into your 8th house, helping you get disciplined with what really matters in life, and perhaps take seriously things like openness with life, openness with relationships, intimacy, vulnerability. Openness with yourself through transformation and learning more about yourself on that deeper level. So if you are taking that stuff seriously, great. I think it's a fantastic week to do just that. And this is all in relation to the life path that has been shifting this year towards your self-expression. The North Node transiting your 5th house. So there's still a lot to learn about your self-expression, maybe about your interests, your hobbies, and fundamentally the things that are close to your heart or the things that you create in life. So this is still a great area to put conscious attention, and I think with the square up to Saturn to maybe take some of that seriously. And again, how you can bring in a bit of that depth, a bit of that deeper perspective into your self-expression, into the things that are normally fun and playful, which is the 5th house. But when Saturn squares up to it, it's good to take it seriously or build it into something constructively. And in this case, from the 8th, the deeper expression. All right, so that's from the North Node perspective. Of course, a square from the North Node is a square from the South Node. So what this means is that there's been old energies here about old ideals being released, old aspirations, and for some of you, old group or community related perspectives. With the South Node, both nodes really, it's all about perspective. And with the South Node, changing old patterns here. So it's a spiritual process. It's about releasing the old. And I think it's an excellent week to take that seriously as well. To work on changing these old patterns that might be extreme, might be imbalanced, might be unhealthy, having to do with aspirations, ideals, or the group or community sectors. All right, so that's the most important thing we've got this week, but we've got a lot going on. Venus is going to sextile up to the North Node on Monday, so a little bit of support there. And what's nice about Venus, actually, is Venus is going to be going into Libra, where she's in dignity and where she loves to be in your 7th house. So I think you'll notice this shift this week of perhaps enjoying a bit of those relationships on a surface level. 7th house is about partnerships. It's about sharing ideas and just all in all connecting to those around you. I think can be enjoyable. Mercury is also going into Virgo, which is exaltation for Mercury here this early part of the week. So I think you'll notice maybe your mind's a bit sharp about taking care of things. In fact, there's a lot of energy still regarding your 6th house to be focused on taking care of the details. Maybe it's your work, maybe it's your routine, your health, your diet, your regimens. There's a lot of positive energy here. This is all part of the lunar cycle that we started last week here. New beginnings with your everyday experiences. So I think it's a great week to continue to cultivate that. Mercury can give you a bit of that mental aptitude there. And Jupiter there, of course, is helping you see those possibilities and potentials. Now, also here around the early part of the week, the Sun will be sextiling up to Saturn. So on a minor note, there could be a bit of the disciplined focus to maybe get some things done, a bit of that productive energy perhaps with those everyday routines. And Wednesday, we do have your ruler squaring up to Jupiter. So for you, Aries, this is an important aspect. And usually with a square up to Jupiter, it comes across as quite positive. Jupiter always has that approach. So we could be feeling perhaps a bit confident, a bit like we can cultivate things in our life where we have a lot of energy or a lot of ambition to get things done. And Mars being your ruler, perhaps just generally a bit of optimism about it, right? So the key with the square, though, is it can imbalance the planet. So it's very important that we're all aware of any exuberance, any type of excess, overconfidence, right? Overly focused on our personal needs. So as long as we're keeping a cool head and we're watching any extremes of, things like overconfidence or exuberance, then this can be a very good week to channel channel our energy towards our inspirations and perhaps productive things, but generally just the things that we could be seeing as opportunities, again, particularly for you with your work, your routine, or your daily life. Okay, but all in all, I think it's great to be inspired, but then channel that inspiration into something constructive and make sure that it's nice and balanced and we're keeping a cool head with all of this, because we don't want to go to the extremes of overconfidence, thinking we can do more than we actually can, or at the same time maybe not feeling optimistic enough in the process. So it's a fine balance there between the two, and the squares are always about action. They're always about taking some sort of action, and with this, I feel like constructive action with that inspiration and balance. All right, so that'll be important, and Venus will be sextiling up to Pluto. So on a minor note, there could be some bit of this deeper connection again with those relationships. Could be some positive energy going into that 7th house. And the week tops off with the Sun squaring up to Pluto going into the weekend. So with this one, collectively, there might be a bit of wanting to control things, wanting to maybe have some secrecy, hiding away, a bit of that more reclusive energy, which is sometimes the case with the square from Pluto, because Pluto in its imbalance can be hidden, it can be secret, it can be wanting to control things, possess things. All right, and with this, again, all in your 6th house, I think it's great to continue to focus on your personal development, your work, your routine. But around Friday here, just give that extra attention to what might be wanting to control or possess things. And in that way, through that conscious light, it can help us balance that energy out. All right, Aries, so all in all, certainly a mixed week, but generally there is this Saturn squaring up to the North Node, which I think is a very good energy to work with. It's not totally personal, like we don't feel it personally like the planets. The North Node is essentially this undercurrent to the life path. And this undercurrent is saying that it's a great week for patience. It's a great week for discipline, both with that deeper connection to life, relationships, and self, as well as to continue to learn more about your self-expression, what you enjoy, and to cultivate those things close to the heart. All right, Aries, so have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.